Hey guys, kia ora. Hey, I thought I'd do my report by video because I'm not a great writer, and then I'll get it done, and it'll make sense. So, solid foundations, done. And to me, it was a fantastic 8-week interactive workshop. So, we got 59 names to paper. So that's who was informed about the sessions, and 45 attended either the first or second session. So I kind of gauge that as that's our starting number, 45. Of that 45, 30 completed the session, so that's 67%, just a little shy under our 80%. And I didn't follow up any of the people, and I know, and I agree with you, Tanya, that's not my strong point, but I actually did this on purpose, in the fact that I wanted the people that finished it, who really wanted to be there, so that they were invested. I think it made a massive difference. So just one observation, in terms of our recruitment, there was great work done in New Plymouth, Stratford Harwood and Whanganui. So really well recruited. Waitara had very poor attendance and follow through. I think they were sold the wrong message. So there was more around, this is an art course. Now that's mostly my fault. I just needed to get better at communicating that. I thought Tanya and I visiting the offices was really, 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 really good, because we connected in with them. And it was great to articulate what we're doing, to show them, the resources, the spring clean, so they could have a deeper understanding, of what we were doing and wanting to achieve. So just a little bit more work around that, if I was to have another chance again to get in front of the case managers and the officers. But overall, pretty good. And in terms of how people feel, so 50% of those attendees, the goal was for them to feel more confident in themselves and their ability to find work. So that's where the case managers need to go back to the clients and get that feedback, because then it's not biased. If I was to say to everyone, hey, let's give me some feedback, I just would love you to highlight this point, or say this, or tell them that. So it's better that it's your guys' intel. I did get some great feedback. This was an unsolicited letter from Donna. She gave it to me. She's from the Harwood group. She gave it to me on our final session, and we had a shared lunch. And they gave me gifts. And she wrote this: "Dear Paul, thank you so much, first of all, for the awesome experience of being part of your course. I first attended as a support person for my sister Donna. However, I was right back the next week, and soon enough, I was signed up as a member of our little group. It's hard to articulate exactly how special this experience has been. The people I've met and the friendships I've made, I feel, will be lifelong. My mindset has been slowly changed, and I've learned to open up about my mental health in a way that I've never felt I could before. I've learned that there are many people who struggle with the same things, that it's okay to talk about it and seek support, even if that's just the listening of a friend. And you, Paul, are a fucking awesome dude. You made us feel comfortable enough to talk about any and everything. Things I haven't opened up about ever. I can't thank you enough for everything, and I wish you all the success you deserve. I would recommend this course to anybody who wants to understand and learn to manage their mental health." So that was from Venice. So that's really, really, really cool. And as I said, that was unscripted. She just gave it to me on the last day. So I think a year is what I reckon would be a nice time frame for. I imagine having 30 invested people for 1 year. So 8 weeks is that first 8 weeks is all just building trust. And yes, we have the guides and the artworks to talk about. So we have obviously the rocket ship, which was the center of everything. So we could refer back to that. So everyone, got to understand what each of these areas meant, and to get a bit of a deeper understanding and start to think, how can they apply these these guides, the 3 E's, those type of things into their own lives. Also, and we didn't get to use this a lot, but the spring clean, if we had a year, for example, everyone would do their spring clean every quarter, and then that would be photographed, so they would record, what it is that is going on within themselves, and then, start to make their own plans about how they're going to manage and improve and get into a place where they can be confident in their decision making, back to work or in their relationships. So that's what I would suggest is 1 year. And the way I'd do it would be 8 weeks intensive, and then I'd have a catch up every month for the next 10 months, so a whole year. In between those times would be a plan that's been worked on. So it's important, I think, that there was some more authentic agreeables, as in, okay, we're going to do a year. This is what we want to achieve. We want to get you in a place where you're feeling really good about yourself, great support around you, and really to start to take those independent steps. What does it look like? And to have a plan for when things don't quite work out. Have a plan for how do we fill that knowledge gap. And 30 people. It doesn't sound like it, but a lot. But I think for one person to manage those 30 people would be about the right sort of mix across the territory that we did in this particular project. The art is a great, obviously, reference point for clients, and for the home. It's something that we can always go back to. It's about seeing changes and then hearing them in a group. And then to hopefully start to feel them. The power of the groups coming together, I call them cells. We can create these cells of energy where we all agreed that, because we didn't know each other's, relationships and history, whilst we're happy to share parts of that with each other, our interest was in the people in the group. So it was had to be a very positive place to be. We didn't come here to dump on other people. We could talk about stuff, but the whole idea was to be aspirational and to elevate each other. So I think that in itself was a massive learning for everyone, and Venice, she alluded to it, lifelong friends. It's really powerful. So I think that, where are we? The neutral venue was really great, and that just allowed everyone to I guess quicken up that trust, because no matter how many plants or how nice we make a building look, sometimes when we go in that building it has connotations, it has a history, a past to it. So that was really good in terms of where we did things. I've already met with the New Plymouth group outside of the project. We met for a coffee, and that was great to connect in, see where everyone's at. But I think having one person connected to the group over the course of the year would have a really higher chance of achieving the numbers that we'd want. And what I would suggest is work out, what does that number look like? To invest in one person to look after that year-long project would cost X. But if we were to get of half of them, 15, so out of the 30, let's say, 15 back into full-time employment, what does that number look like? So we can divide things down. Or across the 30, if we could get 10 back, but 20 in a really great headspace and less reliant on things, services, well, what does that cost as well? So just doing some thinking around that, I would suggest. And then the last sort of observations is that it would be nice to, and we sort of lost a little bit of momentum here. Again, I take full responsibility for that. But circling back and spending some time with the case managers. So I would like to book a time with the case managers and just go through those individuals and just try to get a sort of read on where everyone's at. But I think that would be good to be done after you have, as an MSD, has got some feedback back from the group. I look forward to having a quarterly based on that. But I just thought in terms of the reporting, this is more natural for me, and it's done. And I can happily commit this to paper later date. I just wanted to get it to you so you could come back to me with some questions and we could keep things moving along. All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.